What's going on, guys? Quick one today. So, we're getting to a point in AI where we can't just be stumbling around and fumbling and practicing using AI anymore. We have to start knowing how to use it, how to make it work for us, and implement it into our business. So, I put together this 5 prompt pattern. This is what I use to learn anything, to build anything out, to develop a plan and focus before I start doing anything. This 5 prompt pattern is the bare minimum that I need you guys to understand to continue learning what I offer and what I teach, especially if you want to get into some of my more advanced programs. This is beginning to be the bare minimum of what you need to do with AI. And it's simply just using ChatGPT or Claude or Google or whatever to prompt in a specific way to get output that you can then utilize and plan with. So we're going to go through it. This is the 5 prompt pattern. I won't read this thing in its entirety, but what we're going to take a look at here are the individual prompts and the very simple templates that I have in here. So first prompt, brainstorm and clarify. Here is the template. Right. By the way, I'll have a link to this 5 prompt pattern in the description of this video. If you guys want to check out more about what I do and what I offer, you can check that out there as well. So prompt 1, very simple template. Help me brainstorm blank. Take this in and ask me clarifying questions. That right there specifically, ask me clarifying questions, is something you absolutely must be using in your prompts to get better at prompt engineering and utilizing these language models. So here's an example. Help me brainstorm a daily routine for focus and productivity. Take this in, ask me clarifying questions. So I'm going to change this up a little bit. I'm going to make this a little more applicable to a use case I might actually need. So I'll copy this template, come into ChatGPT, paste the template, and for the topic, I can say something like an N8N workflow that will take a to-do list, categorize it, organize it, then upload that entire to-do list as tasks in my calendar automatically. Here's my full prompt. Help me brainstorm an N8N workflow that will take a to-do list, categorize it, upload it to my calendar. By the way, if you want to check out the tool I'm using to transcribe my voice automatically, if you haven't discovered this tool yet, highly recommend it. This will increase your output at least 10 times just speaking instead of typing. So I'll put the link for this in the description of this video. You can check it out. So this is my first prompt in the 5 prompt pattern. I'll go ahead and send that off and we're going to get those clarifying questions to come back. Great, so we're getting a response already. What this workflow will do on a high level. Version 1 will trigger, send my text to my calendar. Step 2, here's some JSON parsing, everything coming out. This is what I mean by AI is getting better and we have to know how to use it. I've been using ChatGPT since it first came out and my account knows me really well and it knows the way that I want to do things. So it's already structuring some of this output exactly the way that I would want to do it. It already knows how to do that. So the more you use these systems, the more they know what you want and output the way that you want. So it's already building a pretty awesome plan for me. Now, instead of asking me questions, it's just saying these are some things you need to decide on. So where my to-do list is going to be, which calendars I want to use, how aggressive is the auto scheduling, all of that stuff. So I can answer these questions right now. And to make this a little more realistic, as if it's you using this 5 prompt pattern and learning how to do this stuff, I'll use natural language here and say, I don't know where I want my to-do list to live. Most likely it will be in a Notion page. For my calendar, I want to use Motion. For auto scheduling, should be completely auto. Default block length should be 60 minutes. And for categories, I don't really know, you decide. Okay, so those are the answers to those questions. You don't have to number them or put them in any specific order. You can kind of just ramble on and say, I don't know, you make the best decisions. So I'm gonna come back into the 5 prompt pattern. We can take a look. For prompt number 2, first thing we need to answer all of those questions. So we've just done that. Here is the template for prompt number 2. I'll copy this, come back into ChatGPT and just paste that in. Alongside all the answers to my questions, I'll paste that in. And if you guys have not used the canvas before, this is going to blow your mind. So I'll go ahead and send that off. N8N plus Notion plus Motion auto scheduling system. This is our build plan. Now, what the canvas is actually a live document that you can edit alongside ChatGPT. So I'm going to click the edit button right here, and you can see ChatGPT is writing out this entire document, a high-level document for me to follow and build this automation. Okay, so here's the high-level architecture, prerequisites. I'll need to set up my accounts, N8N, Notion, Motion, OpenAI for the AI portion, setting up the credentials, OpenAI, Motion, all of this stuff is being written into this document very thoroughly, and it's still going. Okay. When I'm building out documents like this, I don't even read them. We're not done yet. We're only on prompt number 2 of the 5 prompt patterns. So I'm going to let this continue out. You could potentially read this whole thing, but I never do. We're going to let it finish off. Let's jump back into the 5 prompt pattern and take a look at prompt number 3. So audit for quality. These are all professional techniques. If you read any papers and documents and technical documents from OpenAI or Anthropic or Google, they tell you how to talk to their models, right? What are the best methods for building agents? What are the best prompting techniques? What should we be doing to interact with these tools? And so based on all of that knowledge, I came up with all of these very, very simple prompts that follow the technical guidelines for prompt engineering. Okay, we are context engineering, especially in a sequence like this. The more context we build, the more information we shove into the machine, the better the output we're going to get as a result. So prompt number 3, we're going to audit the entire document. So here's the prompt. Is this the best and highest performing guide we can write? Is there anything we can add? I'll copy this template, this prompt right here, come back into ChatGPT. Let's see how our document's doing. All right, it's done. 12 steps, a lot of information going on. So once you're in the canvas, you can continue to write and edit this document alongside ChatGPT. It's pretty amazing. So if you want to, you can come up here, save the document, copy it, export it as a PDF, as a markdown, whatever you want to do. But we're not done yet. We're going to come down here to the chat bar. This is just, we're going to paste, is this the best and highest performing guide we can write? Is there anything we can add? Okay, just like that, we'll send that off and we'll get some suggestions back over here and possibly some guide notes over here. Since ChatGPT knows me, I always say just make all the changes. So it's already just adding those changes. Again, the more you use these tools, the better and better they're going to get. So we're just adding more information here. We're now on step 16, error handling, reliability, safeguards in the code. Amazing. And now it's going to summarize everything. What I added, implementation checklist, copy and paste. Very cool. I'm still not going to read this document. Let's jump back into the 5 prompt pattern. We'll come down to prompt number 4, expert role revision. So we're, again, following those techniques directly from OpenAI, Anthropic, Google. We're going to be doing very technical prompt engineering stuff, but it's in a very simple format, this simple sentence, right? So I'm going to copy this prompt, come back into chat, come down here, paste it. This prompt says, act as a master, insert professional role. So I'm going to say, let's say master, automation expert, and scheduling assistant. I don't know, something. Okay, so revise and edit this guide to be the highest performing step-by-step guide possible for a beginner. Explain everything in detail, but in a simple way that a beginner can follow. Okay, even myself as an expert, I use this line all the time, every time, because the way the text comes back and the way the format comes back is in very simple step-by-step terms. Even if I'm working on a very high level, I don't want to have to decode the documents I'm trying to read. It's very, very simple writing for something very complex, right? So I will send this off. We'll get a revision. So a master automation expert and scheduling assistant is now going to edit this document and write it for a complete beginner. There we go. So now you can see everything is highlighted. We're going to see the entire document being rewritten, plain English explanations, some key terms. What is a node, right? Very simple beginner stuff. Prerequisites section again, get your credentials. If you don't know where to find the credentials, check here. Very cool. Exactly how to set up all of your nodes step by step. Using the HTTP node, setting up these credentials. Here's the URL, here's your authorization, headers, all of these things. Great. How to set up each node in detail. Just reading through this, just scrolling down and reading through this, this is very well written, very thorough. I could hand this off to another N8N workflow builder and they could just start doing it. This is very well done, very well written, and makes perfect sense and looks really good actually. So this is one quirk of the canvas. Whenever ChatGPT is writing checklists in Markdown format, sometimes they don't show up. That's just a small quirk of the canvas. We can prompt that in or out. We can just say remove step 12 or fix step 12 or something like that. I'll show you what I mean. I'll say the checklists in step 12 don't show up. Don't write them as checklists, just write them as a numbered list. Something like that, right? This is an extra side prompt. We'll just fix this section, just a quirk of the canvas. It's trying to do Markdown format for actual checkboxes, and that kind of breaks the Markdown format here. So we'll just send that off and fix the checkboxes. There we go. So we're just getting our checklist as numbered items instead of checkboxes. Cool, it's writing it all out. There's all the tasks. Awesome. So that is prompt number 4. We have this huge document. I'll kind of just scroll. You can see my scroll bar over there. It is just a massive document. I could hand this off to a workflow builder and they can just start building my workflow exactly the way that it should be done. I'm going to jump into the 5 prompts pattern because we are not done yet. So after prompt number 4, your guide is technically ready. You can go to town, you can read it yourself, start building, but I'm gonna do a step even better. Let's export that guide as a PDF. So I'm gonna come back into ChatGPT. I'll come up here to export the guide, click download and say PDF. Now you could download it as a Microsoft Word or as a Markdown, but I'm just going to download it as a PDF and now open up a new chat. So in a new chat, I'll now load that document in here. Okay, click the plus, find your brand new document and load it up into a brand new chat for prompt number 5. This is your prompt. That easy. We can start a brand new conversation with that context loaded in here and say, teach me step by step, or start at step 1, or what should I do? Something very simple. Cool. ChatGPT knows me. This is how I like to follow these instructions. So here's the big picture. This is what you're building. Phase 0, make sure you have all of your accounts. You can see it's just going to follow this document and tell you step by step what to do from this document that you created. So phase 1, create the database. We can open Notion, create a new Notion master to-do list. It's even telling me how to open up Notion and make a new to-do list. That is awesome. Keep going down. Now, what's great about creating a document like this and working through things this way, if you ever get to a section where you're just like, all right, phase 3, build the N8N workflow. This is way over my head. I'm just going to copy this. I'll paste it back in and I'll say something very simple. I don't understand. Let's work on this step and this step alone. Okay, I'll send off that prompt. All right, let's shrink phase 3 down. What phase 3 is? The scary list. Okay, very beginner friendly terms. So now we're just going through phase 3 alone, very slowly, very methodically through one simple step and breaking everything down. Okay, use AI as your thought partner, not just another tool to ask questions to or to look things up. It's going to be your sidekick when you're actually building useful things. When you're getting stuff done, use it as a partner. Okay, this is the very base level you need to succeed in this space. To implement AI in your business, you have to know this method of using AI as a partner and not just a simple question and answer tool or something to tell you silly jokes. This is really an incredible partner or employee or someone you can bounce ideas off of or keep you on track. Using the 5 prompt pattern, you can literally learn and do anything. And this is just the base level of what you need to move into this space. Again, this is the base level for what you need to get into my more advanced programs. You guys can check that out in the description of this video if you want to see what's going on the other side of things and what I'm doing in the professional world and for the AI space. Highly recommend jumping over to my school communities. If you're on school, you can check those out as well. But this is it, guys. This is the base understanding. If you're already at this level, then you are where you need to be. Okay, now I'm actually going to give you a bonus prompt here. Prompt number 5. Let's change up prompt number 5. So I'm going to start a new chat, load in the document. And for prompt number 5, we'll say, read this document and craft a prompt for N8N AI Workflow Builder. The prompt must understand all of the context here. and be perfectly optimized to paste into N8N AI Builder. Now, this is called meta prompting. When you're using AI to write new prompts, you're prompting AI to write new prompts for you. That's essentially what we're doing here. This is called meta prompting. It's another one of those high-level techniques in the papers from OpenAI, etc. And in my opinion, is by far the most powerful prompting technique you should master. Is just learning how to have conversational prompting to prompt better prompts. That is how you're going to get stuff done. You can see obviously now a really well built out prompt is coming in here in a code block. Okay, it's a little bit different than the canvas space. If you've seen these dark boxes before, it's probably a code block. That simply means we can copy this prompt very easily. ChatGPT is making it nice and easy for us. So this is a massive prompt now. It's even giving us the prompt for the agent it wants to build here. So here's the agent prompt, the system message. Here's the user message for the agent prompt. Here's how you set it up. It is giving us literally everything to copy and paste into the entire thing. This is just a bonus for you guys. I tend to still build things manually or on my own, not using the agent or the AI inside of N8N, but definitely using it. It's getting much better and it will streamline your process. So just to test it out and come into a new workflow here, I'm going to open the N8N AI right here and paste in that entire prompt. And obviously we've hit the 5,000 character limit, so that is too long. I'll say write the initial prompt in less than 5,000 characters and see what we get out of it. All right, here's our new prompt. I'll drop it into N8N. Obviously just having fun with it now. This is why I still continue to build things semi-manually. I do use this on occasion. I'll go through my credits and just add stuff in here. If I don't feel like manually dragging and dropping and typing stuff in, I'll say, hey, can you just make me this node with these details in it? But this is what I mean, guys. This stuff is getting better and better. We have to know how to utilize this. Essentially, I can just follow this exact step-by-step right here for the agent. I can paste this in for the system message, for the user message, how to wire things up right here, and what to paste in for the code nodes, and so on. All right, looks like it's finishing up. There we go. So lots of code nodes in here. We've got our agent. Let's see, got the user message in there. I can go ahead and add the system, copy that, paste it right there. There it is, and so on. You guys get the idea here. So if I go check these code nodes, you can see all the code is already in there. That's pretty awesome. Everything lined up. I would just have to go into each of these nodes right here and input my credentials to get them to work. Looks like everything is in here as well. This is awesome. So same thing here, I'd have to put in my credentials. You get the idea. So as a side bonus, that's how I'd put the workflow to work in a real sense, building things out for me. I'd still want to go in here and do things a bit more manually, but it is getting better. That's the whole point of this video. Things are getting better very quickly. You have to know how to use this stuff to be able to succeed. I'll put the link for the 5 prompts pattern in the description of this video. You can check out all my other links. Definitely the transcribing tool is an absolute game changer. It's probably the best tool to come out since ChatGPT to up your productivity and your output. Anyways, hope this helps. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the groups, and I'll see you in the next video.